Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to live Q&A here. And I see I'm using the wrong microphone, so let's make this the nicer microphone. There we go. All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vasel. We're doing Q&A here, just talking about whatever. I didn't do this last week, but the guys from the studio did it here. I hope you enjoyed chatting with them. But I do this on a weekly basis for the most part. Here's your chance to ask us questions. And I hope that, if I'll do what I can to answer some of them. I don't answer all questions, and I don't always answer them in the way you might intend, but we'll have some fun together. Tom, what is your favorite Fedora, Trilby, or Hamburg? Well, I actually don't know what a Hamburg is, so I'm not going to look that up. Oh, my word. I wouldn't even know quite. Looks like. I'll just say Fedora. I know I like a Fedora better than a Trilby, but honestly, to everybody who looks at hats, they just say, oh, that's a Fedora. Doesn't matter what kind of hat it is. So, alrighty. Let's see here. Why did you switch hotels for Dice Tower West? Lots of reasons. A lot of stuff behind the scenes that doesn't really matter to most people, so I'm not going to get into that because, frankly, that's behind the scenes stuff. But it is a bigger area, a nicer area. The hotel is nicer. I mean, just everything about it is nicer, really. So that's good, and it's also cheaper rooms. It's for the consumer, everything is better. For us behind the scenes, everything is better. Let's see here, going through the questions. It was fun watching the Agent of Chaos and Ruby play this morning. I might start calling my son Agent of Chaos. We'll see. He's a very thoughtful child, though, even though he's there at Chaos. He thinks, if you watch it all, he definitely thinks, when you ask him a question, he always thinks about it before answering. He does not shout out an answer ever. He thinks about them. Did I see any exciting new prototypes at Gathering of Friends? Yes. Okay, I'll talk about one of them. So, the one I think I like the best, I don't remember the name of it, but it's, what was the name of it? Doesn't matter. Matt Leacock showed me a dexterity space game, which was really fun, in which you were flicking spaceships around and then using those spaceships to shoot at each other. Like you had little magnetic, where you pulled it back and a magnet shot it across the board, or one ship has a ramp on it, you roll a big steel ball down, but you're also delivering goods, you're trying to accomplish goals, producing resources, and turns are like 5 seconds. It's like, you flick something, I flick something. I produce on this planet. You build a space station. I flick something. Really fast game. The whole game itself is 30 minutes long. It's fantastic. It's not out yet. It's coming out who knows when. But when it does come out, I really liked it. What was the best part about the get-together you and Z just attended? Gaming together with other people in person. It's the first time I've done it in a group setting like that. So when we're talking about the Gathering of Friends, Alan Moon runs this every year. It's like an invite-only con that somehow they've unfortunately invited me years ago. So I was able to go to that. There's a lot of designers and publishers and just friends of Alan Moon who are there. And so we're able to play games. Don't feel bad if you can't make something like this. And I've seen people like, oh, I want to go. Sure, but there are other things you can go to. For example, the Dice Tower Retreat, which starts a week from Wednesday, is the same thing, really. Except for, some of those people aren't there. But there's other people who are all fantastic. And in fact, some spots have opened up. So if somehow you are listening to this and you're like, I was thinking about going, but it's too late. It's not too late. Some spots opened up for the retreat, so you could come, but you would need to email me like today if you wanted to come. Do I plan to update the history of the Dice Tower? At some point, but I like to let time go by before I do history. Better mode of transportation, golf cart or scooter? I've always liked golf cart. I enjoy driving golf carts because you can have other people in them. I missed the marbles. Can we squeeze in a quick race this week, please? I can't. There's just so much to do. We have the Dice Tower Retreat next week, and the week after that is Gen Con. And we're trying to have no missing of videos over the next 2 weeks. So there won't be as much live stuff, but there's videos going up all next week and the week after that. That's a lot of work and stuff to get it done. Is there a question that I wish people would ask me? No. And it's definitely not this one. That's always like in an interview. They say, you know, what question would you have to ask us? You know, we wish, I'm like, is this a trick question? I don't know what to say here. Just want to say I'm super pumped for the Dice Tower Retreat next week. And you should be. I'm still adding games at the last second, but my kids right now are out there working on getting the library ready. There's last minute things. It's almost fully ready. I got a couple games we're adding to it. I have the new crew is going in the library. And maybe another game or two is being put in the last second. Stuff is still being painted. The new Descent is now painted. So that's in the library. Way of the Panda, which I don't think a lot of people care about, but that one's painted now. It's gonna be exciting. We have 100 playmats for different games. I'm really excited about that. 100 different playmats for various games. Some games I'm the only person on earth who has a playmat for it, like Aquatica. I got a playmat made for that and it looks gorgeous. So I'm excited about small details like that. Also, I just upgraded the pieces for Chocolate Factory. Somebody custom made me pieces which are amazing. Like amazing pieces. You'll probably see them in my boring unboxing that goes up tomorrow. But just, it's going to be fantastic. A contest, yes. So let me pull up the contest. Have to give me a second here to pull up the information on the contest. This contest is for a $10 gift certificate from Game Nerds. Game Nerds, a fantastic place to buy games online. I've been putting up the best sellers of different months recently. And today is August 30th. So to enter this, you need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put the word beach. Because, hey, there's beaches going on. And I don't know why the word beach. I guess people are going to the beach. Last chance to go to the beach before the fall and winter comes. So, and then you need to answer the question, what do you like best about the beach? And if you answer sand, I will eliminate you. Well, maybe not. If you like sand castles, that's fine. So emails at contest@dicetower.com, put in the word beach, and somebody will win a $10 gift certificate to Game Nerds. Do you talk to Sam lately? I talked to Sam a couple weeks ago. I was congratulating him on his recent wedding. Are we going to collaborate with Sam? Maybe. Stay tuned for more information. Can we have a top 10 from the book, please? I don't think the book is in the room, actually. Oh, no. It's right here. Okay, fine. It's right next to me. Ah! My top 10 rappers? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let's see here. Top 10 problems of the world today. Yeah, I don't feel like doing that. Top 10 love songs. So that's interesting. What are my top 10 love songs? So I'm going to go with pop culture love songs. So let me see what I got here on my playlist. I'm pretty sure The Princess Bride is one. I really like that song from The Princess Bride. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to do People Will Say We're in Love. I like that one a lot. I Just Called to Say I Love You from Stevie Wonder. I like that one. That's two. Let's see here. I'm just thinking about these songs. So I have a playlist here. called Dice Tower Peaceful. It's what I play at night if I'm just trying to listen to peaceful music. So I have a lot of love songs on here that I would like. Let's see here. Love songs, love songs. Oh, Remember Me from Coco. I really like that one. The sort of love song. Last Night of the World from Miss Saigon. I really like that one. Hopelessly Devoted to You. Grow Old with You. As dumb as that song is, it's from The Wedding Singer. I really like that one. And still, When I'm 64 from the Beatles then fits in there perfectly. I like the idea of staying in love, not just falling in love. Can't Help Falling in Love. I like that one. I think Love, Nat King Cole. I like that one too. That sounds like 10. I'll pick Leaving on a Jet Plane too. How's that? Storybook Love. That's the Princess Bride one, right? I also like the Book of Love. The Book of Love. Anyway. Let's keep going here. There's my top 10. There's probably some that I'm not thinking of. Anywho, would we do a campaign again? It's possible, but we're so busy doing other things, it's hard to get a campaign in where we do something. We might do that in the future. I won't deny that we might do a once a week campaign thing, but I don't know that people would keep watching it. If you ever go watch the campaign stuff that we've done in the past, or the campaign stuff that anybody does, it's like first episode and then it just gradually goes down, and there's less and less views as you go by each one. Let's see here. I asked this years ago on your first live Q&A, what is your favorite ninja game? I don't remember what I said then. Is this like a test? That would be difficult. No, it was not Dexterity, Pandemic in Space. It's not Pandemic. It had nothing to do with Pandemic. I don't think it's fair to pigeonhole a designer like that anyway. Matt Leacock has made other good games too. Let's see. You used to wear glasses in your older reviews. Did you go to contact lenses or did you have LASIK surgery? I had LASIK done, which worked. And now my eyes are getting worse, but it's for close. So like when I do this, I have a hard time. I have to hold books back to here to read them now. But I used to be able to read and not see far away. That still works. I now have lenses for seeing things that are close. I don't have to wear them all the time, though. For Dice Tower Cruise, what are the best events that you put on? We don't put on a lot of events on the Dice Tower Cruise. We do a game show at the beginning and at the end of the cruise, which is fun. We do a show in the middle of the cruise, and that's it. I don't run a lot of events. And when the ship docks at places, there's a schedule or you go off on your own. We've done bigger group things, but most people just go off on their own. Will you go to UK Games Expo next year? Here's my answer for all conventions next year. I don't know. The only convention I know for sure that I'm doing next year is Dice Tower West, Dice Tower East, and the Dice Tower Retreat, and the Dice Tower Cruise. Those are the only ones I know I'm doing for sure. Nothing, and I mean nothing else is on the docket. I'm not guaranteeing Gen Con, Origins, Essen, UK Games Expo. Nothing is on the docket as of right now. I'm not saying I won't do that stuff. I just don't know. How many people were at the first gathering? He said that before. I want to say like 50 people, or maybe it was 30, I don't know. It was not a huge number. Thoughts on Tasty Minstrel and the decision to stop production for the next couple of years? Well, I mean, this happens to a lot of companies. You just heard about Tasty Minstrel because they announced it. But a lot of companies run out of money, steam, or different things in various ways. I'm not thrilled. It goes on. How do you figure out what subset of games to take to the Dice Tower retreat? Ho, 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 ho. That's the thing. We don't take a subset of games. We take all the games to the Dice Tower retreat. I'm very happy with that. When entering a contest, should we always include mailing address or only when asked to provide it? You might as well include it because that if you win, they're going to ask you what your mailing address is, so you save a back and forth email, but you don't have to. Will there be no live content from Dice Tower then during the cons? That's correct. However, that being said, next week you will see live content from me on Monday. I'm still doing Board Game Breakfast live on Monday, and I'm doing the Q&A next Monday. Next Tuesday, we'll be doing a live playthrough of a game on the Tuesday before the con. The week after that, on Gen Con, again, Monday, you'll see live stuff from me. So there's a little bit of live stuff, but not a ton. But we'll be back. But there's plenty of pre-recorded stuff for you. Favorite Masters of the Universe character? Man-at-Arms. Or Man of Arms. Are you doing the boring unboxing this week? Yes. Have you been on an airboat tour through the Everglades? Yes. How long is too long for one of those? I wouldn't know. I always, whenever we're done with an airboat ride, I always think, man, I could have done that longer. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. As I'm getting older, spinning quickly is not something I enjoy. Even sometimes a roller coaster will make me go, oh. But for some reason, an airboat I love. You go really fast. It feels like you are really flying. And then when they spin the boat around, it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't make me dizzy. I love it. The negative thing about an airboat ride is you can't hear anybody else because it's so loud. But you just look at each other and you grin because it's that much fun. I love riding airboats. I should say, yes, I'm seeing people talking about the hurricane. If you are in Louisiana, we hope everything's okay there. I haven't heard from people there, but yeah, that was a pretty big storm to hit there, a very huge storm. So I hope everyone there is okay. Is my microphone rubbing? I hope not. It's up here. It shouldn't be rubbing. Jonah Top Hat, yes. We played Whistle Mountain this weekend where the main board is put together. Are there other games that do this? Yeah, there's a lot of games that are puzzle piece boards. And do you think this should be done more often? I actually prefer a folded board. I mean, they're done backwards so that the folds don't make, you know, and they're usually cut so that it's a nice flat board. You don't notice. Puzzle piece boards, I find, I don't like them as much. I don't know why. They don't seem to lay as flat for me. No, I don't have any insight on Tasty Minstrel or IDW going bankrupt. I mean, that's just, the IDW is a bigger company. They just decided to stop making games. So, because it wasn't financially viable for them. You're going to see more of this. It's happened dozens and dozens of times before. Go back in time 15 years and there was a lot of companies. How many of those companies are no longer here? There's a lot. And that's going to keep happening. It's the way of the world. Yes, You Are So Beautiful. That's a really good one. I like that one too. Yeah, I really like that one. What made you buy residential instead of look at corporate real estate? I like the idea of it being a house. We can use it for other things then. We get together and have a party here. I like it living in a neighborhood. And it just, I don't know, just for a variety of reasons, it worked better for us. Noise-wise, we needed to be nice and quiet, so it worked really well. Did I see the newest Spider-Man trailer? You better believe it. Yes, I'm very excited about that. How do you decide which members cover a game on 4 squares? Basically, whoever's played it. So, like, for example, last week, Dark Ages, me and Z hadn't played it, so we weren't in it. Now, I have played Dark Ages since, and I'll be mentioning that in a quick roundup video thing that I'm doing this week. Do you have a private collection at home, or is your collection merged with the Dice Tower library? I have like 6 or 7 games at home. That's it. My collection is the Dice Tower library. Are you going to do a top 10 Dominion cards? Already done that, actually. I might redo it at some point, but it's already been done. How many hours of sleep do you prefer to get in a night? I like 6. 6.5 is probably better than 6, but 6 is good for me. Last night I got 3.5. But I did sleep on the plane too, so we'll see. I am a little bit on fumes right now. I just drank a dulce de leche coffee, and yeah, I'm running on fumes. But I've recorded 3 videos today and did Board Game Breakfast and a live playthrough in this. So this is my 6th video today. We'll keep going! Woo! Thank you for the very nice words there. How far are you on reviewing a shelf? About halfway? No, I'm not halfway yet. I'm on shelf 8. I just recorded shelf 8A. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to move a little bit faster, and I think I might have got to shelf 10, but there are 25 shelves in the library, so until I get to shelf 12, I'm not halfway yet. I appreciate you saving money by taking red-eye flights, but I'm concerned you're not getting enough sleep. I get enough sleep. Don't worry about that. I might not be sleeping enough now, but I always catch up on sleep somewhere if I can. I like when you do live playthrough of games, and that's easy to do 24-hour marathons. What about 5 or 6-hour sessions? Well, that's what our spectaculars are now. In fact, our upcoming Autumn Spectacular, which is happening in the first week of October, will be doing 3 days worth, and it's about 8 to 9 hours each day. It might even be 10 plus hours each day of lots of live gaming with special guests and cool games, and you'll find out more as we get closer. I might have a surprise for you all. We'll see. My favorite game back then was Ikusa. Yeah, it's probably not that today. Maybe Ninjato. There's not a lot of good ninja games, actually. It sounds like a top 10 list I would have to do. I don't know. Oh, the stream froze? Is it still frozen? Well, I guess it's not frozen anymore. I submitted a concept on BGG for a faster-paced version of Scythe, tentatively titled Blitz. Essentially, it's streamlined Scythe, designed to be played in less than an hour. Thoughts? I guess. That's not something I'm looking for. I mean, Scythe is played when Scythe is played. I don't know that I would need it to be streamlined faster, but I guess if people want to play it. I don't know what question I missed. So if I was in the middle of a question, let me know and I'll go back and redo it. Let's see here. Do you have a favorite James Bond movie? Probably Moonrakers, actually. I know it's dumb, but I really like Jaws as a bad guy in that one. Anyway, he was bad then good, but that's probably my favorite. Although I like GoldenEye too. I don't know. I like sillier Bond better than serious Bond. I know I'm in a minority there, but meh. Will someone be taking videos at the retreat? We'll see. Maybe. I just watched your Lord of the Rings LCG. What happens to the green screen backgrounds? Green screen is not really good. I did it because it was fun and entertaining for me to set it up, but it didn't look very good. We could probably work really hard to make nice green screens, but I like the backgrounds we have in the studio. Although I just did get an email from someone saying how much they hate the tree behind me and they'll stop watching my videos. I just can't please everybody, you know, but I don't know. I like this setup. I totally understand that you can't broadcast the live stuff from conventions, but is there any chance that you would publish your top 10 list separately on the website or something? I doubt it. I really don't want to. We get so much negativity when we do that. We'll consider it. I mean, I guess we're doing one live at Gen Con, but that's about it. I doubt it. I've only been in the hobby for over a year. I still feel a great sense of wonder and excitement when I play board games. Do you feel excitement for board games even after years of doing this? The excitement does die down, right? You can say, I'm still as excited as I was back then. That's probably not true for anybody. I think my enthusiasm, excitement is pretty high, considering, and I mean, there is sometimes I'm jaded. Someone puts out a game, I'll be like, we'll see. But I still see cool new stuff, and I'm like, ooh, this is fun. So yes, I'm still excited to play new games. The actual name of the game is Camel Up. I call it Camel Cup for fun. And it actually was called Camel Cup at the beginning. And then when the manufacturer in China made it, they changed it to Camel Up on the side of the box or something. And so that's what it stuck with. True story. What's the most expensive game in the library that you've never played? I wouldn't know the answer to that. I played most of the games in the library. I haven't played all of them. Okay, speaking of today's Mitchell game, IDW, we have historically seen a lot of consolidation in movie video game industries, so now you have fewer and larger producers. Are board games headed that way? Maybe, but we're going to see more publishers start up. It's the very nature of Kickstarter. Have you tried Roy's G-Fuel? Yeah. G-Fuel, I find it to be okay. I don't think it tastes that great. My problem with G-Fuel is it definitely wakes me up. And I could drink it right now to wake me up. But wow, do I crash when it's over. Tom looks less sleepy than the last time I come back from Las Vegas. But I think that time I came right here to the studio from the plane. Here, I mean, last night I got a few hours of sleep. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate string cheese? Like a 9. I know string cheese is not great cheese. It really isn't. I just really like it. I love string cheese. Although I do not like fat-free string cheese. That is a bad tasting. I bought some. I was like, no, it's not as bad for you. That's true, but it also doesn't taste very good. Would you say that just about everything in the main Dice Tower library is also included in Dice Tower West library? Tim's working on making that the case. He showed me a spreadsheet where he was showing me which games I had that he didn't have, and he was working on getting them for that library. But that library has, no kidding, 6,000 games. For sure. I just saw the list of them. I was very impressed. We eventually put the shelf review videos together at some point. Not one long video, just all the videos in one spot. I think there's a playlist that they're on. How did you come up with the name Dice Tower? It just came to me one day. The Dice Tower already is a device, and I thought, well, that also works for the show. At the time, we were a podcast, and a tower radiating things, and dice. I was like, oh, it works. It works really well. It's one of those times, I think it's the only time, where I've come up with a name and I was like, that's the name. Because some of my names have been pretty bad. Potpourri with Tom and Z, terrible name. I think Board Game Breakfast, somebody else came up with that name. I'm happy with that, though. Four Squares was somebody else in the studio. It wasn't me. Shoot Some Marbles is mine, but that's also kind of a straightforward, easy name. Are you planning on doing another ranking of all the Funkoverse characters? I'll wait another year before that. Can you make the Autumn Spectacular a paid event for those who want to come down and play? No. No. You want to come down and play? We got Dice Tower retreats for you to join. Have you ever gotten into World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV? MMORPGs, they can be dangerously addictive. No, because I know that. I played Ultima Online back in the day, and it was just too addictive for me. And that was when we first got married. That's years and years ago. But I don't trust myself with those. Was Ticket to Ride the first game of a scoring track along the outside of the board? No. No. There are many games of that earlier. El Grande had a scoring track, and that's 95. That's an entire decade before Ticket to Ride. And I'm sure there was probably before El Grande. El Grande was one of the first, but there was some before that. Do you think Overpower will ever get a redesign to become a relevant game in today's market? I don't know who has the rights to that game. Chris or Roy, Tom froze when he started talking about my question on the Tasty Minstrel games. I just said that I thought it was a sad thing that they're going away, but it is the way of the world. I think that was pretty much what I said there. What's wrong with that tree? People are, hey, look, not everyone likes decorations, right? That last graffiti brick wall, that was my idea. And I put it together and I liked it. But I always got people like, oh, that cheap looking brick wall, terrible brick wall. I was like, all right, when we get the new studio, we'll change it, and put little things here. Are you doing anything special in the Dice Tower for Halloween this year? I don't think so, but don't hold me to that. That's still a whiles away. Are you going to do a top 10 at the retreat? No, the retreat's about playing games. We only do a few minor things at the retreat. You often talk about a Catch-A-Palooza. Will you play them live? If so, you play Roar King of the Pride. I don't know, but no, probably to Roar. Maybe someday I'll play that game, but it's not on my list of. I have many other games in the Catch-A-Palooza I'd rather play first. Maybe, but we are really busy with our live playthroughs. I don't think. I can't emphasize enough how much work goes into a live playthrough. Like the one we did this morning was me and two of my kids. Mike was on camera, and Roy was running everything. There's a lot of pre-production work that goes into these. There's a lot of work that happens during it and work afterwards. It is a lot of work. We just used to kind of turn the cameras on and run them. We don't do that anymore. And so we're doing 3 live plays this week. We did one today. We're doing one tomorrow and one Friday. That is a ton of effort, and it takes away from us doing our other videos. So we can add more, but we have to be careful because it is a very time-consuming thing. Is running the Dice Tower a lot like it seemed in Weird Al's UHF? No, it's not like that. As far as I know, it's based on a true story. It might be. I don't know much about the behind-the-scenes stuff, but no, we're not like that, I hope. With Dice Tower running their own cons and retreat, have you thought about not attending other conventions, or do you still find them necessary to attend? Well, not everyone comes to our stuff. and some people can't make it because of where it is in time and or the country. One of the reasons we're going, I mean, at this point, the main reason we're going to Gen Con this year is to meet people, to meet fans. That's the main reason we're going to Gen Con. There's no, I mean, a secondary reason is I got to go around and talk to publishers, but that's very secondary. That's the main reason I go to Essen usually. And when we sell promos, old promos at our conventions, and in fact at Gen Con this year, if you come to our booth, we're going to have our promos and Board Game Geeks promos. They're all going to be together in one area. You can pick which promos you want. Depending on what you pick, the money goes to Board Game Geek or to us. To that end, we don't do that to make money. We do that to kind of cover the cost of Gen Con. Gen Con is by far the most expensive con that we go to because that booth space is not even remotely cheap. I fly everyone there. We get hotels. We eat while we're there. It's just a pricey affair, which is fine. We know that going in. But, you know, so yeah, you're right. It's better to do my own cons, but we still want to do a few other cons that people can go to that may not come to a Dice Tower con. I was at Target the other day and noticed that all the new Monopoly games were on sale or clearance. Kind of made me laugh. Glad to see all the games that are showing up there. Sure, but do realize that the good games also go to clearance. That's just the way the things are. What's a popular food or ingredient that you absolutely despise? Breakfast cereal. Let's see here. Going through these, a lot of questions that people ask me, I answer in other ways, or I've answered before, so I try to pick different questions and stuff. People are now talking about cheese. Speaking of string cheese, do you peel it apart when you eat it, or do you eat the stick as one piece? It depends on the mood I'm in, really. I like to do the string part because there's fun. I mean, that's very nostalgic. As a kid, that's what I did. But eating it stick by stick, wow. I just felt for a moment that I had this overwhelming urge to just fall asleep. I need to sit up straight here, like my parents said. Has there been an game upgrade you wanted but didn't get because of cost? I'm so sorry here for yawning. Well, I've already taken 3,000 steps, it says today. That was partially through airports, I'm sure. Yeah, some I've seen really expensive upgrades online that, I mean, to me, the game upgrade I would get is I would have the whole library painted, but that would be very, very expensive. We're working on it. On a scale of 0 to 10, where do you rate bologna? Like straight normal bologna? 0. I'll never eat it again in my whole life. I hate it that much. But there are some versions of bologna, sweet bologna and Lebanon bologna. I like those a lot. I would rate those. I rate Lebanon bologna at an 8 and sweet bologna at a 7. I really like both of those. But normal bologna, 0. The only thing worse than normal bologna is olive loaf. That's a -1. Other than that, I'm a really big fan of lunch meat. I particularly like boar's head lunch meat. They're amazing. I don't know exactly when Only Time on Light and Shadow is going to be released, even though I just did talk to Arcane Wonders yesterday or 2 days ago about this, and they told me, and I forgot. But yes, we'll be reviewing it for sure. Will there be an opportunity for a meet or greet at Gen Con? Just come by our booth. We'll be there. We'll post a schedule at the booth of when we'll be there. But I can tell you, if you want to meet me, the best times are the first hour and last hour of the exhibition hall, because I'm almost always at the booth during those times. We're not going to be the booth that no one's there the whole time. I try to split people up, especially with Gen Con wearing masks. There's this point where we're just going to want to go somewhere private so you can take the mask off for a while. But the rest. The pop culture top 10s, we're ranking all the Marvel movies, TV shows this coming Thursday live. So come join us for that. Everyone's talking about baloney here in the thing. Look at the 4 Square reviewers. It feels like there's a good variety of taste. Do you feel like others, like War Games, Miniature Games, that you should have more focus on that show? No. I never feel like I try to get stuff on the show, but I'll never be able to find everybody and everything. And we're picking from people who work here. I mean, we have Wendy because she's married to Chris. And, you know, other people may show up to do a 4 Square review occasionally, but you're not going to see it that often just because of, you know, being here at the studio. Since we're already complaining about the tree behind you, how about painting that shelf blue so it's more in line with the Dice Tower color scheme? Because I really like that it's red. I don't know why. I just enjoy it being red. Does he have a what? Oh, does Jimmy have a favorite game? There we go. Probably. He really liked that role-playing like game that we played. He's always bringing different games to play with us at home, so I don't know, have one in particular. Let's see here. Are you worried about Dan Hughes trying to take your spot on Thursday board gaming breakfast? I am. We will do what we need to do to stop this from happening. I sure hope it doesn't happen again in the future. Is there a weekend review video for this week? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't remember recording one. I think I was supposed to and I forgot. Maybe. Love seeing you at the Geekway a couple years ago now, you said with a frowny face. I'm assuming the frowny face is that I'm not there now. Yeah, I like the Geekway, but the Geekway we would just go to for fun, not the best reason to go to for a con. We are not going to be at Essen 2021. We'll see what happens in 2022. If a food truck came to your house, what food would you want to serve? I don't know that I'd care. I love food trucks. Just bring me a food truck. I was just talking to people the other day. I don't know why it is. When I see a food truck, I assume the food is good. It's not quite true. But for some reason, I see a food truck, I'm like, that must be delicious. I am enjoying your favorite cards and game series. What games are you going to look into next? Well, I'm going to do my top 10 favorite werewolf roles. That actually was recorded and was supposed to go live last week, and then we found out I recorded it with no sound. So I'll be redoing that one. But we'll see. I had some other ideas that I was going to do, but we'll see what happens with them. What's your favorite breakfast cereal? I'm so sorry. I really don't have one as particularly because I dislike them. I would suppose Cookie Crisp because it's like bad cookies. Chocolate Pebbles is not so horrible. Yeah, I just don't like them. I just don't like milk on stuff. That's what it is. I don't like milk on stuff. What speed do you tend to watch YouTube videos at? I watch them in normal speed. I know it's the thing these days to watch stuff faster. I feel like that's problematic for a couple reasons. I think that when you watch stuff in double speed all the time, it's like you're trying to consume as much content as you possibly can, so you hurry up, watch. I don't know that's a good way to live your life at a frenetic pace on purpose. And Secondly, then when you actually communicate with people in person, they speak too slowly. I had people come up to me at cons all the time and they go, "It's weird to hear you talk so slowly." I'm thinking, well, that's on you, right? I don't know. I just think that how much content are we trying to cram into our heads? Like, why does everything have to be listened to quickly? Are people listening to music at double time? I don't know. Again, this is a difference of opinions for sure. If you watch stuff at double time all the time, great. I don't like it. I know you can get used to it. I just worry that we live at such a frenetic pace in our lives anyway, right? There's always, we move, we jump, we do this fast. And constantly people are saying we need to slow down. And doing the double speed thing feels like that's the opposite of slowing down. Let's see here. I've heard whispers that there may be an X-Men Marvel Champions in the work. Is there any truth to these rumors? Yes, it's coming out tomorrow. No, that's a lie. People always ask me these things as if this sort of thing always is amusing to me, because people will say, is there truth to a rumor? To me, as if Fantasy Flight's like, Tom, if someone asks you in a Q&A, you could break this confidence we have in you, which I don't. Fantasy Flight doesn't tell me what they're doing. But it just, wouldn't that be funny? Like, they're like, well, yes, you can break it. Yeah, I'm not Tom Holland. I don't know first of all, I don't know anything about it at all. Like, at all. But if I did, I don't think I would be allowed to tell you. So, but people always ask, like, so what's the newest rumors? Like, I either don't know or can't tell you. But it's almost always don't know. Does Marine replace the original dominant species for you? Maybe, probably, not 100% sure. Let's see here. Let's see here. Are board games at risk of becoming a rich person's hobby? No. Given the increased price and focus on Kickstarter, which for the most part represent more expensive games than not. No. Here's why board games will never be a rich person's hobby. Because you don't need to buy a board game to board game. You just need to have a friend who's willing to buy them for you. That's really the truth of it, right? Also, you don't need to buy them all the time. You don't need to buy 100 games a year. You could buy 3 games a year, and I know most people could afford them. And if you can't afford any board game, you definitely can afford hanging out with someone who can buy all the board games. People come here every week to play board games at the Dice Tower Studio. Some of them have never brought a game to play. I don't care one whit. Who cares? I got the games. They're willing to play. I never sit there and think, I wish they would bring some of the board games. I just don't need to do that. Let's see. Are you and Joe Stemmer going to go over any of the first podcasts? Yes, we just got to work on our schedule and get that together. You should dub the werewolf video. No, I'll just re-record it. There have been some brilliant, cheaper games last couple of years. Yeah. And I agree on this. Like you mentioned, Point Salad, Super Mega Lucky Fun Box. There's inexpensive games that are fun. And like for example, The Crew. The Crew is a very inexpensive game, and you could play that for forever before you run out of time to play that. There's lots of inexpensive games. I do agree. All the guys and gal were awesome last week. Yes, the team that was here while me and Z were out were fantastic. They did a great job to the point where y'all don't need me anymore. See ya. Well, maybe not quite. I like being here, but yes, they did a fantastic job. Let's see here. Trying to start a diet. You did one recently. Well, I'm trying to still stay on that. Last week did not help, but I'm back on it today. Any advice? Yeah, the advice from me is just to eat less food. That's how diets work. You eat less food, exercise more. Everything else is a variation on that. Basically, these fancy diets are ways that people can eat a lot. They're trying to figure out how they can eat more food and still lose weight, or eat foods they like and still lose weight. They're all different fads, but it all comes down to eat less food and exercise more. That's it. There's like no secret there. People are trying to figure out like all the secrets, because what we want to do, and I'm part of this crowd, I want to eat as much food as possible and still lose weight. That would be amazing. Let's see here. Let's see. I don't know why the internet keeps going in and out, and I apologize for that, folks. I feel like we're doing well here. Let's see here, going through. Yeah, we do like interacting with the Foursquare reviews. They're a lot of fun. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? I don't know. I might have done it once in my life. Or the bubblegum pop. I never did, though. I would lick it for a while, then I'd be like, I'm close enough, and then I would chew it all together. Besides, that Tootsie Roll stuff with the slightly crunchy outside shell was a good combo. Do you have any favorite games for the holiday season? I mean, we'll see where my top 100 list lands this year, but Le Havre is still pretty high up there. I'm still really liking Le Havre. It's a fun, great worker placement from Uwe Rosenberg. Cosmic Encounter is still a favorite game of mine. You know, but I'm also playing some new games that have come out this year that I really enjoyed, that I'm willing to play in season, out of season. Looking forward to the retreat next week. Hope to get in a game with you. Yeah, you'll see. I don't always I don't promise to play games with everybody because it's just not possible. But yeah, it's possible. You say get there early. What time in the morning is a good time? It all depends. I usually get to the gaming room somewhere between 7 and 8. Unless I wake up earlier than that. I am so tired. That's all right. Let's keep moving. What personality traits are important when you hire new employees? Because it seems like everyone has such nice chemistry. That's it. Hard work ethic, get along with people. Those are the most important traits, period. Loyalty is pretty strong, too. Loyalty. But getting along with other people and being a hard worker. Being flexible, adaptable, those are other, good traits, too. What's your favorite Kickstarter you ever backed? The water balloons that tie themselves. What a great experience that was. Favorite DC villain besides Joker? This may not be popular, but I like Doomsday. Doomsday was interesting when he came because they took everything to stop it. It was just a mindless machine. I liked Doomsday a lot the first time. Did not like him the next times he came through, but I like Doomsday. Let's see here. What is your take on Tabletop Simulator offering many varieties of games that don't require you to buy the physical copy? It's fine, I guess. Very rarely will somebody not buy a physical copy because they can play it on Tabletop Simulator? Very rarely. And as popular as Tabletop Simulator, I've yet to see a publisher come to me and go, we lost sales because of Tabletop Simulator. Usually that drives sales of games. Let's see here. What's the latest book you're reading? I'm currently reading through the Wheel of Time series. I am in book 7 right now, which is tough, right? Because, so if you don't know much about the Wheel of Time series, it's a 14-book series. Books 1 and 14 are fantastic. Books 6 and 4 are the pinnacle of the series. Book 5 is good. Book 11 is good. Books 12 and 13 are good. Book 2 is good. Where is it bad? 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the 4 lowest books. 7 is better. I know that I'm about to go into book 8, and I'm like, whew. You know, then book 9. Book 9 has a great ending, but the rest of the book is, whew. And then book 10 is just dreadful. So I am definitely skipping chapters in these books. There's whole sections I'm skipping. And wow, there are some sections. If I have to read one more men thinking women are unfathomable and women thinking men are stupid, I get it. But like everybody in these books thinks that after, and it gets old after a while. There's a lot of great things in these books, but he liked repeating himself a lot. Like there's 3 main characters, Perrin, Matt, and Rand, and constantly Rand will be like, I don't understand women, but Matt and Perrin are so much smarter with women. I wish I was like them. Then you go to Matt's point of view, and he'd be like, I don't understand women. Perrin and Rand know what they're doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, okay, I get it. Also, in my reread, I've discovered that no one in the book like each other. Very rarely do you see 2 people go, we're united, let's go. Everyone argues all the time. They never stop bickering and arguing, like ever. They finally do, like in book 14. But so there's that. And even then, they're still arguing and stuff. I still like the series a lot, but whew, there's a lot of flaws. There is a lot of beating other people up, like spankings and whippings and beatings consistently. Men and women fighting each other all the time gets old really fast. There's long stretches in the books that are fairly boring or mundane compared to the rest of the stuff. There is the occasional plot points that seem to fizzle end, I felt, rather than end. And then there's character overload. You will be like, who is this character again? I mean, this is my, I think, 3rd or 4th reread. I said, this time I'm going to keep track of the characters. And I still go, who is this person? Who are they? And they'll do points of view for people. And you're like, who is this person again? It's easy to get lost and done. That being said, there's amazing moments. The magic system is really interesting and unique. There's dramatic stuff, and it does end on a very high note. The final book, well, I mean, the last 3 books written by Brandon Sanderson. I think he's an amazing author anyway. He did a good job reining in the whole series. I think he did a better job than Robert Jordan would have done. But yeah, those flaws are really glaring to me as I'm reading through these. That was a long answer to your question. Have you seen Free Guy yet? Yeah, I enjoyed it. A lot, actually. And holiday season, Tom, not holiday. Halloween season. Sorry. So you're talking about the Halloween season. My favorite game to play in that time, still probably Le Havre. I mean, again, I don't know what my favorite game during October will be, but I would assume it's still Le Havre. Cosmic Encounter, or maybe one of my other games. We'll have to wait and see what my favorite game is. You never know. Let's see here. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Well, I do need to get stuff done here. So we're going to get going. I appreciate everybody coming on. Sorry for the stream freezing up at points. I'm not sure what that was all about. But thanks for coming on. I will see you all next time. Don't forget, come back at 2 o'clock tomorrow. So in 25 hours, we'll be doing a live streaming of the new Masters of the Universe game from CMON. So we hope to see you then. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. Have fun. Oh, yeah, that's right. I should click the ending here.